We're going to get a little nerdy because we're going to talk about numbers, specifically KPIs. So these numbers can maybe make your head spin, key performance indicators, but if you pay attention to them, they can literally make or break your business and make or break your marketing strategy. So if you are brand new to the Stylishly Branded page or to my profile or over on Height Media, welcome. I am the owner and founder of Height Media and Stylishly Branded, and we work with small business owners, established experts, coaches, and consultants to help you leverage your social media so that you can bring in more sales. Bottom line, that's what we do. And we have been doing this for a little bit over more than 14 years now. Oh my gosh. In December will be 15 years. So believe me, I have seen all of it and have been through all of those ups and downs in this space. And so one of the things that has made a huge difference for us, but also for our clients, is monitoring KPIs. So I'm going to share with you some of the most, I would say, the easiest ones to monitor, but also the ones that can really tell you a lot about what is happening with your marketing, especially on social media. And you'll be surprised as just knowing what these numbers are, paying attention to them on a monthly, sometimes weekly, maybe bi-weekly status will really give you a great impression as to if what you're doing is working, if maybe you need to make some changes, because there is no point to putting content out there to show up on social media without actually knowing what it's doing, right? And numbers do not lie. Numbers can really tell a lot. So if you're watching this on the replay, don't be shy. I always come back and answer everyone's questions. So some of my favorites, and we actually do this for our private agency clients on a monthly and some even on a weekly basis. First, let's get into why even pay attention to these numbers. Okay. What I love about social media marketing, and I come from a background in traditional advertising and marketing, which was radio, newspaper, television. I can tell you especially with radio, when I sold radio advertising back in the day, I'm going to really age myself right now, but that's over 15 years ago. I did that for 10 years. It was hard to prove to our clients that their advertising was working on radio unless we were running ads that said, the first 100 people that come to this location get a $100 bill, right? That's how we knew that something would work. So what I love about marketing business on social media is that everything is tracked. Even if you are not running ads, you can still track what's happening, especially if you're using business profiles. So that's what KPIs can do for you. They're going to give you a real look into what is working, what's not working. Okay. So on the business end, you want to know, are you getting the right reach? Are you getting the right attention? Are you getting the right engagement? Are you getting the right conversions, especially if you're running ads? You can even track KPIs for consumer loyalty. So we're going to talk specifically today about reach, engagement, and conversions. So I'm going to share with you a few KPIs within each of those categories that are really important to take notice of. And you can use third-party apps to compile these analytics on a weekly basis, on a daily basis if you wanted to. But if you're just using, for example, FB or IG, you can do this right inside of the Meta Business Suite side of your business page. Okay, so you don't have to use a third-party app. If you have multiple platforms that you market your business on, then I would suggest a third-party app that can actually collect all the information from all of the platforms all at once. It's much more efficient and easier to use. Okay, so one really essential metric to track, and this is not about vanity numbers, but this is going to allow you to know if people are really gravitating towards your profiles, is your follower count. When somebody follows your profile, it's because they want to follow you, right? They want to know more about you and know what you're into. So keeping track of your follower count is a great way to kind of just know off the bat if what you're putting out there is something that people really care about. So pay attention to your follower count. Also, impressions. Impressions is going to help you understand how many people or how many times a post on that specific profile has actually been seen. This is way different than your reach, okay? This is how many times that one post or profile has been seen. It could be seen by the same person 5 times, right? Whereas reach is going to count the amount of people that have seen that. So impressions is also a really good one to check out, especially unique impressions, if you can get that. Okay, because that's going to give you an idea of how many times did one person see that post, my post, or my profile. Okay, now post reach is another one that's really important, because if your post, especially organically, if your post is getting lots of reach, then that means that maybe it's actually going viral because more people are now engaging with it, they're viewing it, they're clicking on it, they're watching it, they're spending more time on it. So that can actually really be helpful to understand and to keep track of is that post increasing in reach? If it is increasing in reach, you want to do more of that type of post. Okay, so that's a really great KPI to pay attention to. Some other ones that won't necessarily have to do a lot with social media platform within itself, but I think is also important to note is your website traffic. So understand where your website traffic is coming from. Is it coming from FB? Is it coming from Pinterest? Is it coming from IG? Is it coming from LinkedIn? Is it coming from search engines? So understanding your web traffic is important to note as well. This is going to allow you to know I'm getting most of my traffic coming from FB versus IG, then maybe I need to tweak my strategy a little bit on IG, or maybe more of my ideal clients are actually hanging out on FB than on IG. So that's going to help you out with that. Some other social media KPIs that are important, and this will give you some really good idea as to how your engagement on social media is working. So clicks. When somebody actually is clicking on your post or a caption and you are starting to get higher clicks on something, that's an indicator that that post was very intriguing. And it could also be an indicator that it was not intriguing, that nobody really cared about it. You want to also pay attention to clicks. Secondly, you want to pay attention to your likes. Again, I don't believe in vanity numbers. I mean, if you go to, for example, Get Hype Media on Instagram, we have like 200 followers, but we are a very busy company with a team of 12 right now, right? So you don't need huge followers or likes to actually have a successful business and to use social media marketing successfully. But it's also just an indicator of letting you know, okay, people are gravitating towards my profile because I'm obviously doing something right. Or it could also be that people aren't gravitating towards profile, so maybe that's why you're not getting as many followers organically as you would like. Now, I will tell you with paid traffic strategies, which we use inside of our agency for our private clients, and I use also on my own businesses, you can really up your game in the amount of highly targeted followers and engagement that you get on any of your profiles. But you definitely want to pay attention to your likes. You also want to pay attention to the reactions that you get on your social media posts, especially on FB, right? There's a lot of different reactions. People can hit the like button, the love button, the care button, the sad button, which we don't want. We don't want the angry button, none of those. But the love and the like, especially, you want to pay attention to those. So if you're getting lots of loves and likes on certain types of posts, that's going to be a great indicator that that post is something that people really enjoyed. It's relevant. And now maybe what you can do is actually redo that post, repost it, but in a different way, maybe add a question in the caption. Now you'll get not only the reactions, but you'll get some comments, which is going to be even better than the reactions. You also want to pay attention to shares. So when people are sharing your content, that means number one, they found your content to be cool enough to share to their friends, to their network, to connections, right? So really what sharing means, like I may see some social media that I really find intriguing, but I may not share it. It doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like it. It just means that it's not something that I really want to share with my community to show that I really liked it, right? So when you get somebody to share something of yours, that's huge, okay? The next one is comments. Comments is huge. If you're getting tons of comments on a post, you want to really pay attention to what you wrote, the content of that post, the caption, and then do that again. Like, wait a couple weeks, rewrite it a little bit, maybe tweak some words so it doesn't seem like the same exact thing, and do it again. So along with likes, comments are essential for interactions and to really boost how you're showing an algorithm. Okay, so I love to add a question at the beginning of my post when I'm typing a caption, because it also allows the reader to feel like you really care what they have to say first. It's not so much about what you are trying to get through to them. You want some interactions. You want to make this a conversation, right? And so that's what social is about. It's about conversation. Another really great one to look at are mentions. Are you being mentioned? Are other accounts mentioning you? That's a really great indicator that what you're out there, people really care about. Now let's talk about KPI for conversions. So conversions can happen organically or they can happen paid. Just letting you know, you will see a lot of higher conversions with a paid traffic strategy if it's done right. You spend a lot of time making conversions happen organically, but you're spending a lot of time that you could be using more effectively at serving your clients at a higher level. So we like to use both organic and paid strategies combined, and they work magically when you actually use them together. So KPIs that are really important to take a look at, to make a note of, would be obviously your sales revenues, right? That's just a common thing. You want to know what your sales revenues are like, and you can look at that not just from social media, but if you sell products, from your orders. That's kind of like, I'm sure you know how to project and really take a look at your KPIs for sales revenues. Lead conversion rates are really, really important, especially when you are running ads, right? You want to know how many leads are coming from these ads. If you are optimizing for leads, especially, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to that conversion rate. Is it a conversion rate that you are happy with? So there is not a magic number. I get asked all the time when I'm doing a Facebook ads consult, like, what do you think my conversion rate should be? That's kind of a really open-ended question because there's a lot of factors involved. The cost of your product, offer, or service. What are you willing to pay for a lead based off of what it is that you offer, what your budget is? So there's a lot of different factors that go into that, but you do want to pay attention to your lead conversion rate. You want to know that, especially for social media. If you are doing sales calls, you want to know what your conversion rate is on those, right? Like, how many people do you have to actually call in order to convert them into a sale? So it's always important to note that as well. So it's not just on social media that these KPIs are important, but really in business in general. Some other KPIs, for example, when you are running your ads, if you're running ads, would be your cost per conversion, right? So you want to know, what is the cost per that conversion, per purchase, or per website registering to a challenge. That's also important. Some people are okay with getting $5 leads, but these leads don't convert, right? So I personally am willing to pay for a higher dollar lead because I know it's going to be a higher quality lead that will potentially have a higher conversion rate of converting into a purchase, into one of my offers. So you want to think and make note of that as well. I will see you next week, same time. Until then, stay social, guys. Bye.